ለመማር ወደ ትምህርት ተቋም መሄድ ግድ አይደለም።
ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ
ራሳችሁን ከኮሮና ቫይረስ ወረርሽኝ እየጠበቃችሁ በቤታችሁ ወይም በተመቻችሁ ቦታ
በኢንተርኔት አማካኝነት በኦንላይን ትምህርታችሁን መከታተል ይቻላል።
ካናዳ ከሚገኘው ኢንተርናሽናል ኤር ትራንስፖርት አሶሲዬሽን አያታና
ከእንግሊዙ ኢንስቲትዩት ኦፍ ኮመርሻል ማኔጅመንት ICM ጋር በመተባበር የሚሰጡ ትምህርቶችን ተከታትላችሁ በ6 ወር ጊዜ በዓለም አቀፍ ደረጃ ተቀባይነት ያለውን የስልጠና ማስረጃ ባለቤት መሆን ይቻላል።
ከኢትዮጵያ ሲቪል አቪዬሽን ባለስልጣን ሙሉ ዕውቅና ባገኘንባቸው የፍላይት ኦፕሬሽን እና የሆስተስ ስልጠናም በምዝገባ ላይ ነን።
ጥያቄና መልስ፣ የክፍል ስራዎች ብሎም ፈተና መፈተን ክፍል ውስጥ እንዳላችሁ አይነት
ልምድ ባላቸው መምህራን እየተማራችሁ
በኦንላይን ባላችሁበት ቦታ
አድራሻ ከ22 ማዞሪያ ወደ ሾላ ገበያ በሚወስደው መንገድ 150 ሜትር ገባ ብሎ ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ
የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ
ህልሞን እውን ያደርጋል።
ሌላ አለ ነው ወይስ ወደ ዕለቱ ዲስከሽን እንግባ? ጥያቄ ካላችሁ at any time መጠየቅ ትችላላችሁ። So the last chapter of the course deals about managing the growth and the transitions of a business from establishment to the next formal stage of any business. So when you start small business, so after some time it will transit to medium business after some time. If you start medium business, so this medium business will transit to a large business. So before transition, first we have to manage a business at the prevailing stage. The prevailing stage. If you start small business, first you have to manage the operation of small business. Small business pass different stage, at its level. The business will introduce to the market. Introduction stage, growth stage, maturity stage. After maturity stage, the business will transform into the next level, or in some cases, some business will perish or decline and just out of the business and the business environment. So in this case, before we proceed to managing the transition, so first we have to manage the growth of the business within the established level. So in this case, the previous chapters deals about the mobilization of resources. Once we mobilize the human resource, the financial resource, the material resource, and other necessary resources, we can establish a certain enterprise or a new venture. Once we establish the new venture, so this venture, unless we properly manage and apply appropriate leadership, so the business may not be successful in the future. So in this case, successful entrepreneurs control or manage different factors. These factors or variables may be controllable variables or uncontrollable variables. So these variables can be, within the control of the entrepreneur, or it's beyond the control of the entrepreneur. So those variables under the control of the entrepreneur is known as controllable variables. Those variables which are beyond the control of the entrepreneur in managing the enterprise are known as exogenous, or in some cases they are known as uncontrollable variables. So in this case, business are operated under different environment. It's obvious there are internal and external environment while we are running any business. So in this case, this in Ethiopian case, or in most developing countries, business environment is not as such friendly to run any business. It's obvious. Whenever you start a new business, there are different environments that has negative impact on the operation of your business. So this environment could be controllable or it could be uncontrollable. So in this case, this chapter will entail or discuss the details of different factors that affect the growth of your business and different factors that has negative or either positive impact on your business growth. So this chapter also emphasize on the expansion or the growth strategies of any business whenever we manage any business, and this process should guarantee the expansion or the growth of any business. Once you establish the business, the business will grow in terms of what? In terms of human resource, in terms of profit, in terms of market share, or in terms of capital, in terms of profit, or in terms of sales. There are a number of parameters that shows a given business, increasing its growth or, expanding its operation. So in this case, we need different strategy to expand our business. Can you mention one or two strategies to expand a given business? Or tell me some expansion strategies in your own belief or in your own perspective. Anyone. Expansion. If you want to expand your business, what type of strategy you are going to implement? Tell me one or two strategy you may be familiar with. Anyone?
Maybe it can be opening another branch when we expand our business. So we may think about which or where we are going to open another branch. Is it familiar with our business? Are there many customers around that area in the like?
Okay, so increasing outlets, a branch. So increasing a kind of strategy which is distribution channel. So you can make accessible your product by opening different outlets or different branches. So in this case, expansion could be by opening a new branch or new outlets is one strategy. Anyone, you can expand your business, your operation by increasing some branches. What's the others? Anyone?
The other can be adding or employing more employees or workers in our business or in our company.
Okay, increasing the scope of operation. Okay. Okay, we'll discuss different expansion strategies like acquisition. Acquisition means you can increase your operation by acquiring or purchasing or buying another organization. This is a kind of strategy. Or in some cases, you can merge with other companies. This strategy is known as a merger strategy. Merger strategy. You can merge with other companies and you can expand your scope of operation. And the other could be licensing or franchising. You can make some contractual agreement with the others to expand your level of operation on behalf of your organization, which is known as franchising. So this could be a kind of expansion strategy, or you can give your company's brand name and you can provide some contractual agreement or a license. So in this case, licensing is another expansion strategy. Anyways, we see different expansion strategies, adopted by different organizations. So in this case, the first model that studies entrepreneurship from perspectives of managing and transiting different small or medium business. So in this case, this model, Timson's model of entrepreneurship, identified three major factors that enhance, the success of small business, or that enhance the growth of small business or any business. It could be large business could grow to very complex large business or to corporate business. So in this case, according to Timson model of entrepreneurship, there are three major factors that bring the growth of any business. So from this model, we can understand that three major important factors are contribute for the growth of any business according to this model. So what are those resources? What resources or what factors that contribute for the growth of any business? What factors? Can you tell me one or two factors in your opinion that contribute for the success of any business? Since the Timson's model, capacitated on different issues we have been discussed so far in entrepreneurship. What factors are important to bring the growth of any business as an entrepreneur? What factors?
I think they can be both internal and external factors.
Okay.
Internal factors like our way of controlling our customers, our plan, our working, and external, our working environment.
Environmental situation of there are political situation, economic, social, cultural situation. I hope we have been discussed in chapter 2 external factors like pests, political, legal environment, economic environment, technological environment, and so on. This external factor bring either opportunity or a threat. A threat is unfavorable condition for our business. This unfavorable condition may not bring an opportunity, growth, but opportunities as a result of external factor is one of the success factor for any business. So opportunity, provided by external environment is one factor according to Timson's model. So in this case, let's see the Timson's model from internal and external factor perspective that brings a business growth. So in this case, this is the Timson's model of entrepreneurship. So this model, we can consider these three major factors contribute or bring business growth. So what are those factors? Opportunities definitely bring an opportunity, growth for all business. Unless we identified, the first process in entrepreneurship is identifying and evaluating opportunity. So in this case, opportunity is one major factor to bring business growth. So apart from all other things, regardless of the entrepreneur's creativity, regardless of the available resources, opportunity is the major factor that paved the way for the growth of any business, paved the way. So in this case, we have to identify opportunity to bring business growth. So in addition to this opportunity, the entrepreneur should develop a team of individuals that bring or that applies the opportunity for the business. Unless we develop a strong, productive team, so the opportunity may not be implemented or applied to our business. So in this case, to bring business growth, first we have to identify the appropriate growth and then organize a strong team within the organization that enables or that may utilize the opportunity. So to utilize, the identified opportunity, we have to organize, we have to organize different resources, within the organization. We have to collect financial resource. We have to organize financial resource, material resource, human resource. So in this case, these three important factors that bring any business growth. So within this, we have to effectively manage the exogenous forces. Exogenous forces means external forces. In applying, the capital market context, we have to apply. The capital market means simply a market which is secondary market. So in this case, we have to effectively manage the external forces and the market. So these two things are important to support the growth of any business. And we have to communicate the identified opportunity to the human resources and identify the gaps between the available resource and the required resource and fill the gap by developing a business plan. Or you can communicate the opportunity to the human resource or to other external stakeholders through the business plan. So business plan is a supporting document or important document to bring the growth of any business. And leadership, leadership. So leadership is important. Entrepreneurs are, do have their own leadership skill. The process of, leadership is simply the process of influencing the others. The process. You can positively influence using your expertise power. So in this case, we need to have, leadership skill to bring growth of any business. And we have to creatively avoid the uncertainty and ambiguity within the business. So the creativity is simply, looking things in a different way. So creativity is important to avoid uncertainty and ambiguities within your business to bring some growth or expansion. So in this case, according to Timson, model of entrepreneurship, what are the major factors that contribute for the growth of any business, which is the opportunity, the team of entrepreneurs, and the available resources. Resources could be tangible or intangible resources. Intangible resources are, the goodwill. Intangible resources are, the organizational, trademark, or it could be the patent right. So we have to effectively manage tangible or intangible resources. The tangible resources are, you may be familiar for all tangible resources: the building, the land, the equipment, the machineries, the truck. All these resources are tangible. So we have to effectively, manage these tangible or intangible resources within the organization so as to, improve or so as to bring the business growth. So this is the Timson's model. So this is some of the discussion. What does mean opportunity? How? So according to Timson's model of entrepreneurship, for an entrepreneur to create a successful business or a successful business venture, business venture is a kind of business, created by entrepreneurs. So successful entrepreneur, venture. So this entrepreneur must balance the three components indicated earlier, which is the opportunity. Opportunity, what does mean opportunity? Can you define it? What's opportunity? So how can we identify opportunity? ኦፖርቹኒቲ ማለት ምን ማለት ነው? እስኪ የሚነግረኝ ምን ማለት ነው ኦፖርቹኒቲ? የመጀመሪያው ለአንድ ቢዝነስ እድገት ወይም ሰክሰስፉል ቢዝነስ እንዲሆን የመጀመሪያው ፋክተር ወይም ወሳኝ ቫሪያብል ኦፖርቹኒቲ ነው ይላል ቲምሰን። እስኪ ምንድን ነው እስኪ የሚነግረኝ ኦፖርቹኒቲ ምን ማለት ነው? Opportunity.
I think it's a circumstance that makes it or that makes the business possible to do something.
Okay, which is a favorable condition for our business, favorable condition. So this opportunity maybe, it could be a problem. It could be a problem. Let me give you one example. The problem related with conventional teaching learning process creates an opportunity for what? There is a problem nowadays in learning teaching process on conventional ways. It's a problem. This problem could be an opportunity for online teaching learning process. It's an opportunity. So in this case, for those who develop online teaching learning process, it's an opportunity, even if it's a problem for all situation in our country. አሁን ያለው ጊዜ ለኛ ጥሩ ነው ብላችሁ ታስባላችሁ? አሁን ያለው ነገር Do you think that is it favorable condition? I don't think so. This is a problem. So, but this problem may be an opportunity for some entrepreneurs to develop a virtual teaching learning process. It's an opportunity. So in this case, opportunity means simply a favorable condition for our business, whether it could be a problem or may not be a problem. So in this case, opportunity is, one factor to bring, a business growth. So, there are some teaching learning process or a problem. Educational quality problem is a problem for all citizens. Teaching learning process problem, or the quality of teaching learning or educational quality problem is an opportunity for some individuals. Maybe for those who organize, tutor is an opportunity. ታውቃላችሁ ለምሳሌ የመማር ማስተማር ሂደቱ ደካማ ቢሆን ወይ በጣም ጠንካራ ቢሆን ቱቶር ያስፈልግ ነበር። ቱቶር ማለት እንግዲህ አሁን በየቦታው ቱቶር የሚሰጡ ድርጅቶች አሉ ሳምቲንግ። ስለዚህ እነዚህ ነገሮች ለአንድ ኢንተርፕረነር እንደ ኦፖርቹኒቲ ሊሆን ይችላሉ ማለት ነው። ለምሳሌ የኛ የቆሻሻ አወጋገድ ስርዓታችን በጣም ዝርክርክ ነው አይደል እንዴ? እስኪ በትክክል ቆሻሻ የማስወገድ ሲስተም አለን ብላችሁ ታምናላችሁ? It's a problem here and there. ስለዚህ ይሄ የቆሻሻ የማስወገድ ባህላችን ደካማ መሆን it's an opportunity for those who develop a kind of business which is engaged in cleaning of some trashes. እንግዲህ እንደ ቢዝነስ ምንድነው የሚባሉት በየአካባቢያችን ያሉ በየአካባቢያችን ወስደው ቆሻሻን በተገቢ ቦታ ሊጥሉ የተሰማሩ ሰዎች አሉ። it's an opportunity. ይሄ opportunity ከምንድነው የመጣው? የኛ ችግር ስለሆነ ማለት ነው። ቆሻሻን የማስወገድ ችግር ስላለብን ይሄ ቆሻሻ ለማስወገድ ወይም በማስወገድ ስራ ለሚሰማሩ ሰዎች it's an opportunity. So in this case, opportunity is a favorable condition. So quality problem in education, create tutorial program in residential areas for parents and their children. So quality problem is an opportunity for those who organize tutorial program. Shortage and problems of housemaid created a daycare center in residential areas for working mothers. ለምሳሌ ምናልባት አሁን shortage and problems of housemaid እንግዲህ ምናልባት የቤት ሰራተኛ እጥረትና የቤት ሰራተኛ ችግር ለምኖች ኦፖርቹኒቲ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ዴይኬር ለሚከፍቱ ድርጅቶች የተሻለ ይሆናል opportunity ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ምክንያቱም the working mothers need to need a daycare center for their children. So in this case, some problems may create an opportunity. So entrepreneur is someone who recognizes little difference between problem and opportunity, because they consider all problems create an opportunity. That's the entrepreneur's principle or philosophy. So in this case, weakness in students' textbook preparation in Ethiopian school create opportunity for preparing supplementary textbook. እስኪ ፕሪፓራቶሪ እና ከዛ በፊት ሆናችሁ supplementary textbook እስኪ የሚነግረኝ ሲጠቀም የነበረ ተማሪ ምን supplementary textbook ተጠቅማችኋል? Anyone? Extreme books serious የሚባለው አይደል?
top Galaxy
Okay, there are a number of supplementary books. So the preparation of this supplementary book is mandatory because of the weakness of textbook in Ethiopian school system. So to fill the gaps of the textbook or the weakness of the textbook, entrepreneurs prepare supplementary textbook. So a certain problem, a problem of textbook in Ethiopian school system is an opportunity for someone who prepare supplementary book. So in this case, opportunities may be a problem. So someone who identified this problem and convert into an opportunity is entrepreneur. Someone. So in this case, opportunity is important for the success or the growth of any business. So the other factor that contribute for the growth of any business is the team. So once the entrepreneur identified the opportunity, so it's critical to gather good team of people to potentially unlock the opportunity and utilize those opportunities. So in this case, the entrepreneur needs to organize or gather a good team of people. People may prefer to work in group or in team. Some people prefer to work alone or individually. So in this case, the entrepreneur should collect or gather good people, with skill of team working. So if you organize people who has a need to work in group, so they can unlock and utilize the opportunity. So in this case, team members do have a defined role. We have to develop roles. Role is simply a group of activities assigned for one individual role. So in this case, we have to assign role for each member of the team. We have to assign a role. Timson, identified, a team in a football. A football team has different members. So these members are, the goalkeeper, the defender, the midfielder, the striker, or attacking the team. So we have to assign different roles for each member of the team. Once we identify the team and assign role for each team, so we can organize this team to bring some growth or simply development within the organization. So this team work towards bringing growth. So in this case, as an entrepreneur, first we have to organize the team, assign or define role for each team, and manage the team. So within the team, we can develop team manager, or sometimes we can develop a cohesive team. So sometimes people have different role and different weakness and strengths within the team. So in this case, we have to organize the team to cover their weaknesses to each other, because anyone or no one is complete in all aspects. You may be active. You may be active in interpersonal skill. You may be active in different skills, convincing the others. You may be active in running activities alone and so on. So no one is complete in all aspects. So in this case, they need someone who fill the gap. Someone. So in this case, when we develop a team, the team try to avoid personal weaknesses and bring development within the organization. So in this case, to bring successful growth within our business, first we have to identify opportunity and then organize team of good people and utilize the opportunity. So in this case, we have to organize a team. This team will use all the resources and potential opportunities. So in this case, there are two major roles we can assign for the team. Removing ambiguity and uncertainty of opportunities by applying creativity or inventiveness, which means we can assign a group of individuals to avoid the ambiguity and uncertainty according to the team sense model. If you remember the model, the model is there is an ambiguity in between the opportunity and the team. So the team use their creativity and avoid the ambiguity and uncertainty to recap or to utilize this potential opportunity. So in this case, the team may be assigned to utilize the opportunity by avoiding the ambiguity and uncertainty. The ambiguity mean. Ambiguity is a situation that may hinder the opportunity. Uncertainty, this is the future is uncertain. It's difficult to identify certain information. So in this case, a team of individuals will avoid uncertainty and ambiguity. And the team also assigned to manage effectively exogenous forces as well as the capital context or the external context. Yes?
Uncertainty ላይ ማለት ነው. How to avoid ማለት አንድ ፐርሰን እንዴት uncertainty avoid ማድረግ ይችላል? ምናልባት ሪስክ መቀነስ ነው እንጂ የሚችለው አይደል እንዴ?
ያ ምን መሰልሽ avoid or remove ማለት ለምሳሌ uncertainty ማለት lack of information ወይም make a decision without any information እንደማለት uncertainty. The future is uncertain. So how a group of different teams avoid uncertainty. So to avoid uncertainty, they can use their creativity. One of the techniques to minimize or to avoid uncertainty is forecasting. So to avoid the uncertainty of the future, so you can use forecasting techniques. So this forecasting technique will minimize or as much as possible remove the uncertainty. Now uncertainty is unable to make a perfect decision. So in this case, using their creativity, so they can minimize or if possible, they can avoid by collecting different information. ለምሳሌ ቢዝነሱ ትርፋማ ይሁን አይሁን ወደፊት እርግጠኛ መሆን አይቻልም ግን ይሄን ማስወገድ ይቻላል. They can conduct feasibility study. They can estimate the possible expenses, the possible demand, the possible sales in the future. So in this case, they can minimize or avoid uncertainty. So that's why entrepreneurs take calculated risk rather than crazy risk. Now, crazy risk ማለት እንግዲህ uncertainty-ውን እንዳለ መውሰድ ማለት ነው. Calculated risk ወይም moderate risk ሲባል ግን as much as possible minimizing the uncertainty and the ambiguity, even if in ambiguity the source of creativity. በአምቢጊቲ እና በክሬቲቪቲ ከፍተኛ የሆነ ሪሌሽንሺፕ አለ። አንዱ ምንድነው አምቢጊቲ ለክሬቲቪቲ ከፍተኛ የሆነ አስተዋጽኦ ያደርጋል። Whenever you engage in ambiguous situation, so you can start to utilize your creativity. So your creativity will take the lead and can make some or take some information within the ambiguity to make a reasonable decision. So in this case, a team of individuals using their creativity, remove or minimize the ambiguity and uncertainty. So this team of individuals also use their leadership skill and manage the external environment and the capital market condition or context. So in this case, we can, what type of role will be assigned for a team of individuals according to Timson? One, minimizing or removing ambiguity and uncertainty. Providing leadership to manage the available resources.
በትምህርት ከፍ ብሎ መብረር ይቻላል። ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ከከፍተኛ ትምህርት አግባብነትና ጥራት ኤጀንሲ ሙሉ ዕውቅናን ባገኘንባቸው በማስተርስ ዲግሪ ኤምቢኤ በስትራቴጂክ ማኔጅመንት፣ ኤምቢኤ በባንኪንግ እና ፋይናንስ፣ ኤምቢኤ በቢዝነስ ሊደርሺፕ፣ ኤምቢኤ በሪስክና ኢንሹራንስ፣ ኤምኤስሲ በኢንተርናሽናል ትሬድ እና ኢኮኖሚክስ ዘርፎች በእውቀት ለመቅረጽ የበቁ ፕሮፌሰሮቻችን አረንጓዴ መብራታቸውን አብርተዋል። በነገራችን ላይ በኬንያ ሀገር ከሚገኙ ስመጥር ዩኒቨርሲቲዎች በሚመጡ ፕሮፌሰሮች የትኩረት መስክ ትምህርቶቹ መሰጠታቸው ልዩ ያደርገናል። በምርጥ የትምህርት ስርዓት የተገነባው ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ በመጀመሪያ ዲግሪ በአቪዬሽን ማኔጅመንት፣ በሆቴል ማኔጅመንት፣ በአካውንቲንግ እና ፋይናንስ፣ በማርኬቲንግ ማኔጅመንት አስተማማኝ ትምህርት ይገቢውና ራስዎንና ሀገሮን ይለውጡ። አድራሻ 22 አደባባይ ወደ ሾላ በሚወስደው መንገድ ላይ ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ህልሞን እውን ያደርጋል።
So the last factor that bring growth for any business is a resource. Finding and managing appropriate resource require different skill. Finding and managing appropriate resource, it requires a different skill, which means we need, some organizing skill to organize different resources. Entrepreneurs are, well-defined in organizing skill. Entrepreneurs, organize different factor of production, which means the human resource, material resource, financial resource, and establish any venture or any business. So in this case, they need a different skill than anyone, which means non-entrepreneur. So in this case, they need a different skill to organize their resources. So what are those resources? These resources, as we mentioned earlier, it could be knowledge, which is intangible resource. Resource could be tangible or intangible. So one of the intangible resources is knowledge, goodwill, or fame. Information is also, a resource. These resources, or to organize these resources, the entrepreneur require different skill and a different competency. So in this case, once they organize this intangible resource is not the only resource to bring development. So this entrepreneur also require another physical resource. These resources or tangible resources are building, land, information technology, like computers, or other infrastructures that will process the information. The human resource, financial resource or money. There are a number of tangible resources that contribute for the growth of any business. So this tangible or intangible resource is important according to Timmons. So in this case, as an entrepreneur, to bring any business growth, you have to balance the use of all these three factors, the uses. So successfully balancing or using this or successfully balancing all these resources, which means the tangible, intangible resource, the team, and the opportunity. So this will bring successful achievement within business. So in this case, you have to. These factors are primarily managed through creativity, communication, and leadership. All the opportunity and the resource need to communicate each other. The resource and the team need effective management. The opportunity and the team need creativity. So in this case, according to Timmons, so we need to balance the three resources. What are the balancing techniques? The communication, the leadership, and the creativity. If you apply all these things, your business will grow. So new venture expansion strategy. Once you assure or ensure the growth of your business, so the next step could be expansion. So all successful small business startups eventually face the issue of handling business expansion. Uncontrollable expansion of a business could be the failure factor for the business. So in this case, we have to expand under control situation. So in this case, all successful small business need a growth, a controlled and expansion strategy. Controlled growth and expansion strategy. So in this case, business expansion is the stage of the company's life that in terrible ways, both internal and both opportunity and threat. Threat is a kind of situation which is unfavorable for our business. Unfavorable. This unfavorable situation is known as peril. Peril, or you can use interchangeably with threat. So in this case, within expansion stage of any business, so the business is under the terrible situation with opportunity and peril. On the other hand, business growth often carries with the corresponding increase in financial fortune for the owner and the employees. So there is a little bit difference between growth and expansion. So within expansion, it's a stage of the business life cycle under both opportunity and peril situation. Whereas business growth means simply showing an increase in terms of financial fortune or financial opportunity for the owners as well as for their employees. As the company show financial growth, so the owner's profit will increase, the employees benefit will also increase, or the employees income will increase. So in this case, growth is a little bit different from expansion. So in this case, when we see expansion, it's usually rather than send me a text, if it is beyond your control, any situation, so you can just leave the discussion or the presentation. መብራት የሚያስቸግራችሁ ከሆነ ከአቅማችሁ በላይ ከሆነ መውጣት ትችላላችሁ፣ ችግር የለውም። ባናግሩኝም ማለት ነው። ምክንያቱም ከአቅማችሁ በላይ ስለሆነ ማለት ነው። if it is real
ሚስተር እኔ በጣም እያስቸገረኝ ነው ኔትወርኩ።
ያ ምክንያቱም ከእናንተ አቅም በላይ ከሆነ ምንም ማድረጋችሁ ነው። ለምሳሌ አሁን መብራት ቢጠፋባችሁ
በጣም ኔትወርኩ እያስቸገረኝ ነው ያለው።
እዚህ ውጭና ገብተሽ ሞክሪው፣ ካልሆነ you can leave.
እና እንትን ስለ አሳይመንቱ ልጠይቅህ ነበር ግን በጣም እያስቸገረኝ ነው ኔትወርኩ።
ጠይቂኝ እስኪ before we proceed to the discussion. እየጠበቅሽ ነው። you can ask me.
ሚስተር ይሰማሃል ማለት በጣም እየተቆራረጠ ስለሆነ ይሰማሃል ሚስተር?
እንትን አድርጊልኝ፣ ቴክስት አድርጊልኝ። አይሰማም፣ ጻፊልኝ።
እሺ ሚስተር፣ እሺ
ጻፊልኝ። Okay, when we see expansion and growth, growth is simply the realization or the validation of the entrepreneur's initial business startup idea to the subsequent effort or to the subsequent fruitful business expansion. When the entrepreneur initially start a new business, so this business need are based on different objectives. So expansion will guarantee or ensure the fruitfulness of the startup business idea. So you can realize the initial business idea through expansion effort. So in this case, business expansion also present the issues of the entrepreneur's idea, the issue, or simply present small business owners with a myriad or a collection of issues, or a limitless issue to be addressed within the business idea. So in this case, when the entrepreneur starts a new business, there are a number of issues that should be addressed within the business. This number of issues is known as a limitless issue or a myriad issue. This myriad issue could be addressed through a business expansion strategy. So when we see business grows in terms of change in terms of managerial, legal, and financial issues. So in this case, when we see growth means increasing in terms of new employees or hiring a new employee. So this require, top management of the company leadership. Or you can define the company's growth in terms of the company's management will. Sometimes when the company is, small, the management is centralized. When it shows growth, the management of the company will be decentralized. The decision will be made at different level of the organization. Okay. የሚቀጥለውን የአሳይመንት ጉዳይ ፕሮፖዛል ዲቨሎፕ የምታደርጉት በግሩፕ ቢሆን ለኔ የሚመቸኝ ነበር። እንግዲህ በግሩፕ ማዘጋጀት ግን አይቻልም። አሁን ከኮሌጁ በተሰጠኝ ዳይሬክሽን ምክንያቱም ካለውም ሁኔታ አንፃር ለአምስት ዲቨሎፕ አድርጉ ብላችሁ ሚኒመም 5 ሰው ወይም 6 ሰው አድርጉ ብላችሁ መገናኘት ሊያስፈልጋችሁ ነው። መገናኘት ደግሞ አሁን አይቻልም። ስለዚህ I'll give you enough time to prepare your own business plan independently. If you want any help, I'm available. So you can contact through my Telegram or through my email. If possible, you can talk to me through my phone if you need help. Then በግሩፕ እኔ ከዚህ በፊት ፕሮፖዛል ቢዝነስ ፕላን ሳሰራ በግሩፕ ነበር ማሰራው። ግን አሁን ካለው ሁኔታ ተነስታችሁ ምችሉትን ፕሮፖዛሉ እንዴት እንደሚጻፍ ቻፕተር 3 ላይ በግልጽ ተቀምጧል። በዳሽ ዳሽ ዳሽ ተደርጎ ተቀምጦላችኋል። እዛች ላይ የገባችሁ አይዲያችሁን መሙላት ትችላላችሁ። አይዲያችሁን ማለት ነው። እዛ ላይ ያስቸግራችሁ የሚችለው ምናልባት ፎርካስትድ ኢንካም ስቴትመንት እና ባላንስ ሺት ሲሰሩ ነው። እሱን ደግሞ I will give you a format. ለምሳሌ አሴት የሚባሉት ምን ያስፈልጋችኋል? ኢንካም የምንለው ደግሞ ወደፊት ሽጣችሁ ከዛ ላይ ያን አምርታችሁ ሽጣችሁ ከዛ ኢንካም ስቴትመንት ለመስራት ያመረታችሁና የሸጣችሁት ገቢ ለማምረት ያነቃ ያወጣችሁት ወጪ እንደገና ኤክስፔንስስ የምንላቸው አሉ። ኤክስፔንስ ማለት ከምርቱ ጋር ቀጥታ ተያያዥነት የሌላቸው ወጪዎች ለምሳሌ ኤክስፔንስ የምንላቸው ቢል ኤክስፔንስ የውሃ ሊሆን ይችላል፣ የኤሌክትሪሲቲ ሊሆን ይችላል ምናምን የምንላቸው ቢሎች አንድ ላይ ተጠርቀማላችሁ ኤክስፔንስ የምንላቸው ይኖራሉ። ስለዚህ እነሱ እንዴት እንደሚሰሩ እዛው ላይ በዚህ ፎርማቱ ላይ አለ። ግን ካስቸገራችሁ ኢሜል ላይ ኮንታክት ታደርጉኛላችሁ ወይም በጣም ሳይበዛ ያው እንግዲህ ሁሉ ሰው ስልክ ማስተናገድ ያስቸግራል። ግን በጣም ግራ የሚገባችሁ ከሆነ you can call me ካልሆነ ቴሌግራም ላይ መጻፍ ትችላላችሁ ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ያው ፕሮፖዛሉን ለየብቻ ነው የምትሰሩት። ቴክስት ላደርጋችሁልኝ ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ለብቻ እንድትሰሩት መክራችኋለሁ ማለት ነው። ለየብቻ ነው የምትሰሩት።
ቢያንስ ከደረሰ በኋላ የሆነ ኢሜል ላይ ሪፕላይ ማድረግ ትችላለህ እንደደረሰ እንድናውቅ።
ኦኬ በጣም ብዙ ነው ሪፕላይ ለማድረግ። ግን ለምሳሌ ኢሜጅ ብቻ ለደረሳችሁ ልጆች ሪፕላይ አድርጋለሁ። ለምሳሌ አሁን የላካችሁ መስሏችሁ ኢሜላችሁና ከላይ ርዕሱ ብቻ ይመጣል እንትኑ አታች ሳይደረግ ማለት ነው ፋይሉ። እንደዛ ለአረጉ ልጆች ሪፕላይ አድርጋለሁ። ድጋሚ ላኩት አልደረሰኝም ብዬ ሪፕላይ አድርጋለሁ። ከደረሰ ግን ኦልሞስት ዛሬ ወደ 117 ተማሪ ደርሶኛል ዛሬ ማለት ነው። ምናልባት ከተጠራጠራችሁ ትጠይቁኝና ላፕቶፔ ላይ ዳውንሎድ አድርጌዋለሁ ቼክ ማድረግ እችላለሁ እቺን ጨርስና ስለዚህ yes
ሚስተር አሁን ማለት ነው ከሶስቱ ቢዝነሶች አንዱን መርጠን ነው የምንሰራው ወይስ
ሃይ ስኮር ያገኛችሁበትን ብትሰሩት ምክንያቱም አሁን ታሳቢ አድርጋችሁ እንድትሰሩት የፈለኩት ሃይ ስኮር አሁን ለምሳሌ ከሶስቱ ቢዝነስ አይዲያችሁ ውስጥ የተሻለ ቢዝነስ አይዲያ የምትሉት ሃይ ስኮር ያለው ነው ለዛ እንድትሰሩ ነው ካስቸገራችሁ ግን you can change ስኮሩም ይቀየራል ለምሳሌ አንድ የሰጣችሁት ቁጥር በዛው ይቀራል ማለት አይደለም ለምሳሌ ኢንፎርሜሽኑን ጋዘር ስታረጉ ስለዛ ቢዝነስ አይዲያ በተቻለ መጠን ብዙ ኢንፎርሜሽን ባገኛችሁ ቁጥር ሐሳብ ልትቀይሩ ትችላላችሁ ስለዚህ ምናልባት ድጋሚ መላክ አይጠበቅባችሁም ግን ኢንፎርም ታረጉኝ ይገባል የቀየራችሁትን በቀጭን እዛው ቴክስት ላይ ያረጋችሁ መጀመሪያ የመረጥኩት ቢዝነስ አይዲያ አንደኛው ነበር አሁን ሁለተኛውን አድርጌያለሁ አሁን የምሰራው ቢዝነስ ፕላን በሁለተኛው ነው ብላችሁ ኢንፎርም ማድረግ ትችላላችሁ without sending me the assignment again ተግባባ
ሚስተር ተግባባ thank you for that mister
repeat again
አቤት
repeat again
በደንብ አይሰማኝም
say repeat again what you said
okay sorry when you select the business idea just out of 3 business idea so you can give a different score based on the question listed above so in this case according to your score you can choose one business idea according to your score obviously an idea with the highest score is your preferable business idea or it's your choice so based on your preferable business idea so you can prepare a business plan so in some cases you may select inappropriate business idea according to the score but you can change the business idea by rearranging the score and you can send me a text that describes a change of idea you can send me so did you send the business idea to me
yes I sent yeah
the second assignment I think
chapter 3 ላይ chapter 3 ላይ ነው የምናገኘው
business plan preparation ሚለው ዛሬ ነው ያለው
I think business plan is different with it yeah first we send business idea then after this we send you another one
yeah first send me the business idea and once you send me the business idea I will receive the idea and based on the idea you can prepare your business your business plan
okay but there is no mentioned date yeah
Mr.
of course I didn't mention the submission date of the last assignment or the business plan but I will give you 2 weeks normally class የሚያልቀው አርብ ነው so the class will be the class in this next Friday I hope for my course so now onward this yes
business plan የምንጽፈው በፕሮፖዛል መልክ ነው
ኖርማሊ እዛ ላይ የተጻፈላችሁ ፔጅ ስንት እንደሆነ አላስታውስም ከመመለስ ብዬ ነው እዚህ ላይ እንትኑ ጋር አለ ቻፕተር 3 ላይ ቢዝነስ ፕላኒንግ እና እንትን የሚለው ላይ ይታያችኋል I think page 59 በዚህ መልኩ ነው የምትሰሩት business plan outline. The full name of the business operator. የእናንተ ስም ትጽፋላችሁ የት እንደምትገኙ ትጽፋላችሁ types of plan or work or business in the operator is to be engaged ምን አይነት ቢዝነስ ነው ለምሳሌ እዚህ ላይ የምትጽፉት ምን ይሆናል ማለት ነው assignment 2 ላይ የመረጣችሁት ቢዝነስ ነው ማለት ነው እዚህ ጋር የምትጽፉት assignment 2 ላይ year of plan ለምሳሌ ፕላኑ ታይም ባውንድድ መሆን አለበት ይሄ ቢዝነስ ፕላን ለስንት ዓመት ነው የሚያገለግላችሁ ለ5 ዓመት ለ10 ዓመት ለ15 ዓመት it should be at least a minimum of 5 years since it's a working document it's costly to change the business plan every year but you can update but you have to state the year of the plan from which from when to when ለዚህ ከመቼ እስከ መቼ ነው ለ5 ዓመት ከሆነ ከ2020 እስከ 2025 ይሆናል ማለት ነው በፍራንጆቹ ከሆነ እኛ ከሆነ ከ2012 እስከ 17 ይሆናል ለ5 ዓመት ከሆነ working premises at disposal of the operator what are the working premises የምትጠቀሟቸው የመስሪያ እቃዎች ሊሆን ይችላል ከዛ በኋላ ሴልስ ፕላን ያለ ነው የሚሄደው ኖርማሊ ይሄ በዚህ ፎርማት መሰረት ብትሰሩት ቀላል ይሆናል ነው ግን ምናልባት ቢዝነስ ፕላን ስታዘጋጁ ፎርማቶች አሉ አይታችሁት ከሆነ የመጀመሪያው essential components of a business plan essential components your business plan should have a cover page a cover sheet this cover sheet includes the name of the project or the name of the business the address of the business the name and the address of the entrepreneur or the promoter or the owner executive summary simply this is summary of your business plan after you prepared the business plan so you can prepare this business plan once you complete the business plan to confirm yes to confirm my email
ይሄንን ፋይል ትልክልናለህ አይደለ
አለ ኮንትራክቱ ላይ ይሄ ተልከላችኋለሁ አንድ ላይ ነው ያለው
አላገኘሁትም ደግመህ ልትልክልን ትችላለህ
የለም ሚስተር አልጋኝ አልደረሰንም የለም
ስለዚህ ደግመህ ላክልን በኢሜል ወይ
ኦኬ ኢሜል ላይ ነው ወይስ አሁን እዚህ ላይ ልላክላችሁ ቻት ላይ ላርግላችሁ
አዎ ቻት ላይ ላክልኝ
እሺ
ቻት ላይ ልክላችኋለሁ ኢሜል እየላኩላችሁ ነው ምናልባት እንግዲህ ኮንፊርም ላደርግላችሁ ሁሉም ስሞል ሌተር ነው ምናልባት አልደረስላችሁ ያለ ሰዎች የመጀመሪያው ሌተር ጽፉ ካፒታል ካረጋ ይልክላችሁ ስለዚህ መቤት ይደርሻል ያስባለሁ ቼክ አርኪው ስለዚህ ፔጅ 55 ላይ የለም እንትናችሁ ላይ okay let me send it ስለዚህ ጨርስ ልክላችኋለሁ ወይ ኢሜላችሁ ላይ ማለት ነው
ሚስተር የመጀመሪያው ላይ ካፒታል ኮን አልገባልኝ እናልከው
ካፒታል ከሆነባችሁ እንትን ይልከዋል ግን እኔ ጋር አይደርስም ከሆነ ጊዜ በኋላ ሜለር ፌል ብሎ ይበለስላችኋል ስለዚህ ስትልኩ ምንድነው የምታረጉት ሁሉንም ስሞል ሌተር ነው የምታረጉት ካፒታል ከሆነ አጋጣሚ ስትጽፉ አንዳንድ እንትኖች ካፕስ ያደርጋሉ ስትጽፉ ማለት ነውና መልሳችሁ ወይ shift ተጭናችሁ ስሞል ሌተር አድርጉት
I think sir copy paste
ከደረሰ ማለት ነው like ደርስ እንደደረሰ የሆነ መልእክት ላክልን
ትክክል ለሻው ኮፒ ፔስት ታረጋው ይደርሰዋል ኖርማሊ ኮፒ ፔስት ሲሆን ፎቶ እና ኢሜል ጂሜይሉ ስለሚመጣ ኖርማል ነው
በትክክል ኮፒ ፔስት ማድረግ ትችላላችሁ እኮ እንት ለምሳሌሽ 100 ምናምን ተማሪ ዳውንሎድ ለማድረግ እንግዲህ የኢንተርኔት ፍጥነት አስቡትና ለሁላችሁም ሪስፖንድ ያደርኩ ከሆነ ጊዜ ወስድብኛል ስለሚወስድብኝ ነው ግን እንግዲህ ከተቻለ ሞክራለሁ ሪፕላይ
ያደርጋለሁ ጂሜል ላይ ትክክለኛ መሆኑን የሚያሳየው የሚስተር ፎቶ ስላለው ኮንፈርም ማድረግ ይችላሉ በዛ
ማጣ ቴንኪው እንደዛ ነው ኮፒ ፔስት ብቻ ያረጋችሁ መውሰድ ትችላላችሁ ስትጽፉት አንዳንዴ አውቶ ኮሬክት ስለሚያደርግ እንትናችሁ ካፒታል ያደርገዋልና ኮፒ ፔስት አድርጉት ከዛ የተረፈ ካለ እንትን አደርጋለሁ
እንትን ደግሞ ሰር አንዳንዶቹ ኮፒ ፔስት ካስቸገራቸው ዘው ክሊክ ሲያረጉት በጂሜል እና በኢሜል መላክ ትፈልጋላችሁ ብሎ ያመጣላችኋል ያንተን ኢሜል ክሊክም ማድረግ ይችላሉ
በቃ ስለዚህ እየሰማችሁ ነው በዛ መልኩ ተጠቀሙ ስለዚህ let's back to yes እስኪ ምችሉትን አርጉላኩና አንዴ ካላችሁ just contact me እዛው ላይ ክሊክ ስታረጉት ይመጣላችኋል እኮ በዚህ አሳይመንት 1 ላይ ጽፌ ልኬላችኋለሁ ለሁላችሁም ማለት ነው አሳይመንቱ ላይ አለ ምናልባት እዚህ ላይ የኖር አይኖር አላወቅኩም ጻፈው አልጻፈው ግን
አለዚህኛው ላይ
እዚህ ጽፌ ያለው በቃ በዛ ላይ እዛው ላይ ክሊክ አርጉት እዛው ላይ ማለት ነው So let's back to the discussion. ምክንያቱም አርብ እንዲያልቅልን እነዚህ ዲስከስ ማድረግ ይኖርብናል ማለት ነው So the new venture expansion strategy a new venture can expand its scope through different strategy so far we have been discussed some of the strategies like acquisition merger license there are a number of strategies actually in a new venture so you have to understand what's expansion mean and you have to understand what's growth mean growth is simply increasing the financial opportunities of or the financial fortunes of the owner as well as the employees So in this case, growth means you can define in different ways. Growth means the company's management will minimize its decision making, which means decentralized it would be, which means less centralized. And growth means the market share will expand, calling for a new strategy, calling for. Growth means additional capital will require to create a new responsibility to the shareholders, the investors, and the lenders. Growth brings a variety of change in the structure, need, and objectives of the organization. So in this case, profit growth could be effective by managing different factors. So since growth is measured in terms of decision making, growth in terms of profit, growth in terms of responsibility, or in terms of capital requirement, or in terms of sometimes human resources, increasing the number of employees and so on. So the method of growth could be expansion method. So small business can expand their operation by pursuing any venue. Venue means simply strategy or ways. So the most commonplace method by small business to increase their business operation or incremental character in terms of product inventory, in terms of service rendering, without participated in wholesaling process. So there are a number of common options or a number of ways. So in this case, we can increase or expand our business by all these different strategies. Growth through acquisition of another existing business. ይህ ማለት እንግዲህ ምናልባት ገበያ ላይ ያሉ ቢዝነሶችን በመግዛት ምን ልናደርግ እንችላለን ማለት ነው። ከኛ አነስ ያሉ ሳይዝ ያላቸው ድርጅቶችን ወደኛ በማምጣት በመግዛት ማደግ እንችላለን ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ አንዱ ምን ይሆናል ማለት ነው? growth through acquisition. The other, offering franchise ownership to other entrepreneurs. franchising ማለት እንግዲህ ያው የኛን ፋሲሊቲ ለሌሎች እንዲሰሩበት መፍቀድ ነው። በዚህ ጊዜ ያው ፍራንቻይዚንግ አግሪመንት ይኖራል። በአግሪመንቶቹ መካከል ሁለት ሰው ይኖራል፣ the franchisor and the franchisee. ፍራንቻይዘር ማለት አግሪመንቱን የሚሰጠው ድርጅት ሲሆን አግሪመንቱን የሚቀበለው ደግሞ ፍራንቻይዚ ይባላል። ስለዚህ it's a kind of contractual agreement between two individuals. ሌላው licensing of intellectual property to third party. ምናልባት የድርጅቱን ስም የድርጅቱን ዕውቅና ልናከራየን እንችላለን ማለት ነው። በዚህ ጊዜ ኤክስፓንሽን ማካሄድ ይቻላል ማለት ነው። it's a kind of expansion. ለምሳሌ እነ ሼል እንግዲህ ከኛ ሀገር ውስጥ ያልተመረቱ ፕሮዳክቶችን ለምሳሌ ሼል ወይም እኛ ሀገር ውስጥ ያሉ ሌሎች የነዳጅ ድርጅቶችን ወስዳችሁ ብታዩ ላይሰንስ ስሙ ይወስዳሉ ማለት ነው። ሼል ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ አንዳንዴ በላይሰንስ ምን ማድረግ ይቻላል? ኤክስፓንሽን መስራት ይቻላል ማለት ነው። ሶስተኛው ወገን አሳልፈን በማከራየት በብዛት እነዚህ ነገሮች የሚሰሩት ምን አይነት ቢዝነስ ላይ ነው? በተለይ ሶፍትዌር ዲቨሎፕመንት ላይ የሚሳተፉ ድርጅቶች የኛን ሶፍትዌር ለመጠቀም ላይሰንስ ወስዳችሁ የኛን ሶፍትዌር መሸጥ ትችላላችሁ ብለው ሊሰጡ ይችላሉ ማለት ነው። ለምሳሌ የማይክሮሶፍት ሶፍትዌር ለሌሎች ድርጅቶች ላይሰንስ ማከራየት ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ በማይክሮሶፍት ሶፍትዌር ላይ ሌላ ድርጅቶች ፕሮዳክታቸውን ዲቨሎፕ ያደርጋሉ ማለት ነው። So this is a kind of licensing strategy. Establishment of business agreement with distributors and dealership. Or this is a kind of, creating an outlet. When ሌላው ከዲስትሪቢዩተሮች እና ከዲለር የምንላቸው እነዚህ በዲለርሺፕ የተሰማሩ ድርጅቶችን ምንድነው የሚባለው በእኛ ሀገር እንግዲህ ያው ዲል የሚያደርጉ ሰዎችን ደላላ ማንላቸው ከዛ ከፍ ይላሉ። ስለዚህ ከነሱ ጋር በመመስረት ዲስትሪቢዩት ማድረግ ይቻላል ወይም እንደ ኤጀንት ማለት ነው። ዲለርሺፕ ማለት እንደ ኤጀንቶች እንደማለት ነው። እነሱን በመክፈት ኤክስፓንድ ማድረግ ይቻላል። or sometimes pursuing new marketing growth. አዲስ የገበያ መንገድ በመፍጠር ሊሆን ይችላል ኤክስፓንድ የምናደርገው through catalogs. Joining industry cooperatives to achieve saving in certain common areas of operation. ለምሳሌ አውትሶርስ ልናደርግ እንችላለን to expand our business. So certain common areas of operation may be, outsourced for others. Public stock offering, so selling your company's stock to the larger public, which is known as public stock offering. Selling shares to investors and to the general public in order to expand the scope of the operation. Employee stock ownership plan. Sometimes we may provide ownership for the employees. Particularly large organizations provide stock ownership for top management. So in this case, this top management or employees, has the potential to expand the company. So in this case, this is some of the common expansion method of a new business, or to ensure the growth of the business, so we can expand through these different methods. So in this case, we can increase the growth of our business by ensuring the above strategies. But there are also other growth strategies, developed by Ansoff's matrix. ምናልባት የማርኬቲንግ ተማሪዎች ካላችሁ ማርኬቲንግ ስትራቴጂ ላይ አንሶፍስ ማትሪክስ የሚባል አለ። ስለዚህ በብዛት growth related with marketing is developed by these professionals like Ansoff matrix. Ansoff ማለት የማርኬቲንግ ጸሐፊ ነው። በብዛት የማርኬቲንግ ስትራቴጂን ዲቨሎፕ የሚያደርግ ማለት ነው። ይሄ ማለት ሁለት ነገሮችን ነው የሚወስደው the product and the market. product and the market. ለምሳሌ ማርኬት የምንለው ከስተመርን ማለት ነው። አጠቃላይ ላሉን ደንበኞች ያለንን ፕሮዳክት ኢንቴንሲቭሊ የምንሰጥ ከሆነ ወይም ያለንን ፕሮዳክት ለአዲስ ደንበኞች የምንሰጥ ከሆነ የተለያየ ስትራቴጂ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ to ensure the Ansoff matrix growth strategy, you can take the product growth and the market growth. The matrix developed using this both the product growth and the market growth, so you can develop 4 strategies. Market penetration means providing intensive existing product for existing or the current market. So this will ensure a market share. ላሉን ደንበኞች በብዛት የምናቀርብ ከሆነ ማርኬት ፔኔትሬሽን ይባላል። ያሉንን ደንበኞች ባሉን ፕሮዳክት በበቂ ሁኔታ ብናቀርብ ይሄ ሎው ሪስኪ ነው። ሌላው ደግሞ ማርኬት ፔኔትሬሽን ይባላል። ገበያ ሰብሮ መግባት እንደማለት ነው። ይሄ ማለት አንዱ ጥቅሙ ምንድነው? to increase the market share. ሌላው ምናልባት ማርኬት ዲቨሎፕመንት ይባላል። ማርኬት ዲቨሎፕመንት ይሄ ማለት ለአዲሶቹ ለሌላ ለአዲስ ደንበኛ ያለንን ፕሮዳክት ለአዲስ ደንበኛ የምናቀርብ ከሆነ ማለት ነው። ከዚህ በፊት የነበሩን ደንበኞች አሉ። ሌላ ደንበኛ የምንፈልግ ከሆነ ማርኬት ይባላል። ስለዚህ providing or the firm seek a growth by pushing its existing product into a new market segment. ከዚህ በፊት ለህፃናት ብቻ የሚያቀርብ ከሆነ አሁን ቀጥሎ ከህፃናት ወደ አዋቂዎች የሚያቀርብ ከሆነ ያንን ፕሮዳክት ማርኬቲንግ ወይም ማርኬት ዲቨሎፕመንት ስትራቴጂ ይባላል ማለት ነው። ይሄ ያው ትንሽ ሚዲየም ሪስክ አለው። ምክንያቱም አዲስ ደንበኛ የነበረው ፕሮዳክት ተለማመዱ ብለን ነው የምንሰጣቸው። ስለዚህ ምናልባት ደንበኞቹ በደንብ ያን ፕሮዳክት ካልተቀበሉት ሪስክ ያለው ማለት ነው። ሪስክ አለው። ሌላው ፕሮዳክት ዲቨሎፕመንት። ፕሮዳክት ዲቨሎፕመንት ማለት ደግሞ የማርኬቲንግ ተቃራኒ ነው። The firm develop new product to a targeted or existing segment. ለምሳሌ ከዚህ በፊት ህፃናቶች ከሆኑ ደንበኞቻችን ከዚህ በፊት ከምንሰጣቸው ፕሮዳክት ውጭ አዲስ ፕሮዳክት አምጥቶ መስጠት ማለት ነው ህፃናቶቹ ስለዚህ አሁን ፕሮዳክት ነው ያመጣ ነው ባለን ደንበኛ ላይ ፕሮዳክት እናመጣ ከሆነ ፕሮዳክት ዲቨሎፕመንት ስትራቴጂ ይባላል ማለት ነው ከነዚህ ለየት የሚለው አዲስ ደንበኛ ፈልገን አዲስ ፕሮዳክት የምናቀርብ ከሆነ ደግሞ ምን ይሆናል ማለት ነው ዳይቨርሲፊኬሽን ይባላል ማለት ነው ዳይቨርሲፊኬሽን ስለዚህ አራት አይነት ስትራቴጂ ዲቨሎፕ አድርጎልናል ማለት ነው ማን አንሶስ ማትሪክስ So diversification is a firm grow by developing new product for new market is a diversification. ምናልባት እዚህ ላይ አስፈላጊ አይደለም እንጂ አራት አይነት ዳይቨርሲፊኬሽን አለ አራት አይነት ዳይቨርሲፊኬሽን horizontal diversification conglomerate diversification concentric diversification ባላለ ይሄ ለእናንተ እዚህ ላይ አስፈላጊ አይደለም ግን የማርኬቲንግ ተማሪ ስትሆኑ ግን ወይም የማርኬቲንግ ተማሪ ለሆናችሁ ግን ዳይቨርሲፊኬሽን እንደገና ፈርዘር ወደ 3 ይከፈላል ማለት ስለዚህ according to Ansoff matrix so we can develop 4 types of strategy one market penetration the other is market development product development and diversification so what's a different strategy from this is diversification come up with a new product for a new market segment ስለዚህ የትኛውን መጠቀም አለብን የሚለው ስትራቴጂ አሁን ከአራቱ ስትራቴጂ according to our business which strategy is best so depending on the life cycle of the product we can adapt either market penetration market development product development or diversification so in this case selecting a product market growth strategy is important in market particularly market growth strategy so we'll discuss next and we'll wind up the class አርብ እንጨርሳለን ለዚህ ምስከንብባችኋቸው እነዚህ አራቱን ማለት ነው ከዚህ በፊት የማታቋቸው የተወሰኑ የማርኬቲንግ ተማሪዎች ያቋቸዋል ግን እናንተ ሌሎቻችሁ መቼ ነው ማርኬት ፔኔትሬሽንን የምንጠቀመው መቼ ነው ፕሮዳክት ዲቨሎፕመንትን የምንጠቀመው የሚለውን አራቱን መቼ መጠቀም እንዳለብን አይታችኋቸው ለአርብ ማለት ነው ስለዚህ ያላስረከባችሁ ካላችሁ ዛሬ እስከ ማታ ድረስ ማስረከብ ትችላላችሁ እስከ ማታ ድረስ ማለት ነው ከዛ በኋላ ምን ተባጠም ስለማይኖርበት ለኔ እንዳስቸግረኝ ከዛ በኋላ በስማችሁ ያንዳንዱ ቢዝነስ አይዲያ ሊስት አደርጋለሁ ማለት ነው ለምሳሌ ቃል ኪዳን ያስረከበችው የአሳይመንት ይሄ ነው የሚለውን እጽፋለሁ ሰላማዊት የጻፈችው አሳይመንት ይሄ ነው አስቀምጣለሁ በየሰማችሁ አስቀምጣለሁ ከዛ በኋላ ቢዝነስ ፕላኑ ሲመጣ በፈለጋችሁት አይዲያ ላይ ነው የሰራችሁት ወይስ የሐሳብ ለውጥ አድርጋችኋል የሚለውን ነገር ቼክ አደርጋለሁ ማለት ነው ስለዚህ now onwards you can start to prepare a business plan ግን ይሄኛው ምናልባት ቀድም ያሳየዋችሁ ከሌላችሁ I will send it ግን definitely ይኖራል ብዬ አስባለሁ ሙሉ ከተላከላችሁ እንትኑ ደርሳችኋል
አለ ፒዲኤፍ ላይ
አለ ፒዲኤፍ ላይ አለ ፒዲኤፍ ያልደረሰው ተማሪ ካለ ምናልባት ሊዲያ ተተባበርኛለሽ እንትን ላይ ሴንድ አድርግልኝ ምናልባት ኮሜንት አላችሁ
አረ ፒዲኤፍ ተለቋል ቲቸር
ተለቋል ቆይቷል በጣም ፒዲኤፍ ኦንላይን ክላስ ከመጀመር በፊት ነው የተሰጠው አይ ቲንክ
ኦኬ ስለዚህ በቃ ዛሬ አውርዱና ፔጁ 58 ፔጅ ቼክ አድርጉት
ከሌላቸው ግን ኢሜል ላይ መላክ እችላለሁ ኢሜላችሁን ላኩልኝና ቴክስት ላይ እልክላችኋለሁ
thank you ስለዚህ ለዛሬ እዚህ ላይ ይብቃና ጥያቄ ካላችሁ እቀበላለሁ።
ኦኬ ሚስተር ይቅርታ እየተቆራረጠብኝ አልሰማውምና የመጀመሪያው እንትን አሳይመንት አለ አይደለ መጀመሪያ አስገባ ነው እሱም እንደዚሁ ነው ካፒታል ምን አይደርስህም ነው መጀመሪያ ሰሚት ያደረገው
አይ እንግዲህ ምናልባት ቼክ ላደርግልሽ እችላለሁ ምናልባት ካልደረሰ ግን ያልደረሰኝ ተማሪዎች ማወቅ አልችልም ኖርማሊ ሊስቱን ገና ተቀብዬ እንትን ያርኩ ቼክ ክሮስ ቼክ ያርኩ ነው አሳይመንት ላይ ያለ ስማችሁና ማርክ ሊስት ላይ አሁን እሱን ወስጄ እንትና አልሰጣችሁኝም ማለት እችላለሁ ግን አሁን የወሰድኩትን ኢሜል እንትን ብያለሁ ግን ከማን ጋር ክሮስ ቼክ ላድርገው ያላስረከበ ተማሪ አለ ለማለት ሊስቱ ሊኖረኝ ይገባል ስለዚህ ሊስቱን ወስጄ እነግራችኋለሁ በዛ ምክንያት ከሆነ ችግር የለውም መልሳችሁ ላኩልኝ ይላችኋለሁ I will check it
እሺ
ልዩነት መፍጠር ዓላማችን ነው ዓለም አቀፍ ተወዳዳሪ መሆን አለባችሁ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ ጥራትና ደረጃውን የጠበቀ ስልጠና በመስጠት ብቁ ዜጋ ያፈራን ነው በፍላይት ኦፕሬሽን በበረራ መስተንግዶ በቲኬቲንግና ሪዘርቬሽን በሆቴልና ቱሪዝም ሙያዎች አሰልጥነን ተወዳዳሪ እናደርጉታለን ኮሌጃችን ካናዳ ከሚገኘው ኢንተርናሽናል ኤር ትራንስፖርት አሶሲዬሽን አያታና ከእንግሊዙ ICM ጋር በመተባበር ዓለም አቀፍ ዕውቅና ያለው ስልጠና እየሰጠ ይገኛል በፍላይት ኦፕሬሽን በበረራ መስተንግዶ የምንሰጣቸው ስልጠና ከኢትዮጵያ ሲቪል አቪዬሽን ባለስልጣን ሙሉ ዕውቅና አለው አድራሻ ከጎላጉል ታወር 22 አደባባይ ወደ ሾላ በሚወስደው መንገድ ላይ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ ህልሞን እውን ያድርጉ